We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Beautiful weather. Beautiful weather.
Singing.
Beautiful weather. Absolutely. It's been this. If this weather doesn't get you motivated to do stuff outside, nothing will. Hey, Louie, guess who we have with us again?
Carol.
And it's been a while since she's been on. Last time we talked about Italy and her travels to Italy. And this time we're going to talk about the Old Farmer's Almanac. She's the editor-in-chief. And there's only been 14 editors-in-chief in 233 years.
Wow.
Must be a great place to work. The Bennies must be good. You have a good gym or something? What do you have there? Carol, how are you? Carol
I'm good. How are you, Mike?
Carol, like I said, has been on with us before, and she comes with a lot of information. She loves to travel, and she likes to go to out-of-the-way places, which I think is great.
Mm-hmm.
But today is September 19th, right?
Yep.
Let's see who was born on this day, Carol. I know you're dying to find out. Adam West. Do you know who Adam West was?
Hollywood screenwriter, actor?
Come on, you knew that. He was Batman. And, he got that role, Louis, because of a Nestle Quick commercial. He was in that commercial, and he played like a James Bond type of guy, like a spy.
Oh, yeah.
And this producer spotted him, and that's how he got cast to be Batman in that series. Carol, you're not familiar with that Batman at all, right? That was on TV. And
no, I definitely watched that.
Were you born in the 60s?
I was born in 1966.
Okay, that's exactly when this was running. Pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a car, Louis, do you think the Batmobile was?
Oh, I don't know. What did they convert?
It was a Lincoln.
A Lincoln, yeah.
1955 Lincoln.
Yep.
Wow, I would have never guessed that in a million freaking
that show
years.
is still watchable, by the way.
It's still on?
It's still watchable. Yeah, you watch it. It's still enjoyable because,
it was so slapstick and so silly.
It was, but back in the day, like even with cartoons, there was some adult humor in there, mixed in there.
Yeah.
And it's like now you're picking up and go, wow, I didn't catch that the first time around.
And your girlfriend, Louis Twiggy,
she
was born in 1949 on this date.
All right.
And Trisha Yearwood.
Okay.
Pretty girl. Trisha Yearwood, 1964. Things that happened on this date. How about the Lindbergh baby kidnap murder, which was all over the world? Yeah. I mean, everybody, heard of that. And remember the couple, Louis, I think you remember this. The couple that said they got kidnapped. Carol, I don't know if you picked up on this, by UFOs. And they were in the White Mountains.
Oh,
you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They became nationally famous because of that.
I know right now. Do you have it?
Betty and Bonnie Hill.
Bonnie Hill, yeah.
Benny and Bonnie Hill. They were abducted by a UFO. And also on this date, Michael and Lucille would have been married 60 years today.
Congratulations.
And my wife, 60 years. Yeah.
For the anniversary.
Well, thank you. You know something, it was a good ride. We had a ball together. And like you, we did a lot of traveling also. And I'm so glad that we did, because as you get a little bit older, you start slowing down a little bit and everything becomes a chore. Back then, yeah, you want to go to New York? Fine. Let's jump in a car. We'll go to New York. I mean, everything was like no problem at all. So, but at 60
So what, did you get married when you were like 11?
No, thank you. I was 20 and Lucille was 19. She was such a beautiful, beautiful girl. Her maiden name was Tessitore, and that's a name that kind of sings. We become very good friends with Marianne Esposito from Ciao Italia, and she comes on the show quite a bit with us. And she used to love saying Lucille's name, Tessitore, her maiden name. It was really pretty good. And if you looked at the Old Farmer's Almanac today, Louis, you know what you're going to see?
What?
That today, September 19th, is the best day for dental care.
Okay. Why?
Ask Carol. Don't ask me. And it's also the best day to pick fruit.
All right, excellent.
Carol?
Yeah, I can tell you why if you want to know.
Ready? The apples are ready. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Well, it has to do with the moon, of course.
Yeah, yeah. You know something? I don't quite understand everything that goes on at the Old Farmer's Almanac, but I'm sure you're going to explain it to us.
Yeah, wait a second. How does the moon affect picking?
Okay.
Picking.
So, okay, we know that the moon affects the tides,
Mhm.
right? And so that is true for all water we can see and water we can't see. So, if you're a grower, moisture in the ground has a lot to do with what's going on with your plants.
Yep.
So the idea is that for picking, you want to pick that at the maximum ripeness. And so we have a waning moon right now, which means that basically all of that goodness is being drawn down, and it's at the fruit is at its fullest.
Nice.
And then for the teeth, that has to do with the blood. So it's like if you are getting dental care, then you're not going to have as much blood flow because we are 98%, like whatever we are, 70% water, 98% water. And so it has to do with like this little bit of a tide within ourselves, the moon affecting that.
All right, so let me ask you, because there's a big debate there's always been a big debate for years on the effects of the moon on humans. And
Yes.
people, EMTs, people who work in nursing homes, people who work in first responders will tell you all kinds of stories, but everybody denies it has an effect. I believe it does. Full moon is a thing.
Well, so we've looked into that, and the truth is that there isn't really an uptick in, let's say, lunacy. However, I think you're right in terms of the feeling of it. I think that people feel the energy of the moon, and lots of people do all of their gardening by the moon. So what we talk about is that because of the tides, the tide that you can not see in the dirt, say, is that we plant our above ground crops when the moon is waxing, when it's growing in light, because it's pulling the water up. And then when you want to do crops that are going to be underground, you want to plant those in a waning moon, and that draws, because the water is being drawn back down into the earth. So it's good for root development. So I think it has an effect. I'm not so sure it means maybe there's just more light outside, so people are doing their deeds. But I think that it does have some effect on us.
Last week we took a ride, Louis, up through Salisbury Beach, Hampton, Rye, heading up. And I couldn't believe how flooded the flats were. And I couldn't understand why, because the ocean was as smooth as glass on that particular day. And somebody told me it's called the King's Moon. Now, you live in an island.
Yep.
You live in Plum Island. Were the tidal marshes?
Yeah, they were up.
Were they up?
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. Some of the houses in Rye, their whole backyard was water.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, where the heck is this water coming from? But I guess it's something to do. Are you familiar with that phrase about the King's Tide?
I haven't heard about the King's Tide, but it's exactly what you're saying.
This is why you tune into the Sicilian Corner podcast.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, you don't get this information on CNN.
Right. But I'm not surprised about the moon.
One road on and off the island, as you know.
Yeah.
And I've got an app. I'm keeping track of tides all the time because I know the exact footage where that road goes underwater. And it takes.
And you have to wait 2 or 3 hours?
2 or 3 hours, yeah. It takes a storm surge. It's not a normal occurrence. It takes a storm surge or something like that, or a particularly high tide.
But, we pulled over in where the rocks are in Rye, and the ocean was as calm could be.
Yep.
The Isle of Shoals looked like they were right there,
Yep.
and they're 7.5 miles away.
Yep.
And you could see all 7 of them, which is surprising. But on the backside, on the flats, all those backyards, everybody's house was flooded, which I find extraordinary.
Yeah.
That's why I just was curious whether or not Carol knew something about it. So this year, how accurate is the forecast on the Old Farmer's Almanac been? As far as precipitation?
Okay, so for precipitation, we always publish a page in the Almanac.
Yep.
And we tell you how we did. And so I'm going to have to think about that.
Louis,
for a
what do you
second.
think? Well, let me
It
ask
was
you,
85%, I think. We were,
I think it was over 80. I know that.
yes.
That's hard to believe.
It's more accurate than the people you see on TV every
With
day.
all the
Let's put it that way.
computers and all those different
Yeah.
strings and type models that they have.
Yep.
I mean, they'll predict 2 inches of rain and we don't get anything. I mean,
Right.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
So
You know?
we talk about how
80% plus. 80%.
Yeah, and then also for temperature diversion off of normal. So I think we were right on precipitation in 16 of the 18 regions we forecast in the U.S., and I think we were right on temperature in 15 of the 18.
Okay,
Wow.
so what are the major trends? Are we getting warmer? Is it what we're being told? My big thing that I've noticed over the past 10 or 15 years, I think, is that the seasons have shifted. In other words, we used to get snow in
Absolutely.
November. We don't get snow in November anymore. We don't get it till January. November and December are pretty much snow-free for the most part. And we've also compressed spring. It goes right from winter into summer. It feels like that spring area is really short. So I think the seasons have shifted.
That's a good point.
I think that's a bigger issue here.
Absolutely. Though this winter we're predicting that it's going to be a cold first half of the winter, so we might see snow earlier.
Yep.
But you're absolutely right. A couple of years ago, the hardiness zones in the U.S. were changed to reflect a warming Earth,
Yeah.
and almost everywhere went up half a zone, and some places went up a full zone. And so that's indication of that. And December overall was warmer for every zone. By 1 or 2 degrees, actually. And so you're definitely seeing that. And what you're saying too, the idea of spring coming earlier, or maybe it's being shorter, is absolutely true. We're seeing trends like if a place is a place that's prone to being wet, it's wetter. Places that are prone to being dry are drier. You can tell our falls are getting a lot drier in New England. And so you're seeing these trends everywhere, these types of trends. And what does that have to do with? It has to do with ocean temperature. It has to do with the polar vortex. At the same time, we saw snow in Savannah, Georgia last year.
Right.
And so what's happening is with the warming oceans and the warming atmosphere, there's more water in it. So when those storms do happen, that's another trend we're seeing, is a place might get 2 inches of rain in a month, but it's at 1.5 inches is happening during one storm, because when it happens, it happens. So we're seeing things like flash droughts. When a place is dry, that dryness can actually stave off a storm. I think that's what's happening to us in New England this fall. So all the things that you're seeing are absolutely borne out in the facts.
Unbelievable. The original formula that was formed 233 years ago by Robert Thomas, is that, because of what's happening to us and things changing, has the original formula been tweaked a lot in those 233 years?
I would say the original formula has not been tweaked, because it really just has to do with looking at sunspot activity, magnetic storms on the sun. That's an 11-year cycle, and we just hit the peak of solar 25. We're going into 26. There's other cycles on the sun. So those are the magnetic storm cycles of the sun, and they impact our weather. So we base our long range forecasts on that data and those patterns. And that hasn't changed. We also use climatology and meteorology. But what has changed, to your point, is tweaking it. We have to tweak those, especially the temperatures, up a little bit, because we're just seeing that as those patterns. That's the climatology part. And so once we sort of look at what the patterns are according to the sunspots, then we have to do more of the tweaking and looking at other, they're called teleconnections rather, like La Nina or, the polar vortex.
Sure,
What's that
sure.
doing?
Before we go any further, Carol, I just want to say one of our listeners is saying good morning. Nancy Patera DeMarco is saying good morning to you.
Good morning, Nancy.
She's one of our loyal listeners, and she's a good friend, and something, she likes to get involved in things. And that's good. I like that. I like that a lot. But it amazes me sunspots have that kind of an effect. It's magnetic pull. Is that what causes the disruptions? I'm very unclear of exactly how
Well, all the
sunspot.
energy comes from the sun. I mean, it's a big driver in our climate, right, Carol?
It is. And so if you look at the cycles, right, these 11-year cycles, it's like literally this perfect kind of up and down bell curve. So what we can do is say, okay, we can look at 25 cycles and say year 6 of the cycle, when we know this was true, what happened then? And we can really base it off of just crunching all that data. And so that's really what it is. It's not like there's a solar flare on the sun and we have a hot summer. It's not a direct correlation like that, but it's those patterns. And the sun has a bunch of cycles going on. It's this 11-year magnetic storm cycle, but there's also a greater cycle called, and I don't know if it's Gleesberg or Gleisberg, I've been investigating it. It's a 100-year cycle. And what happens there is that they think it might have just flipped to its new thing, which means even though we've seen a ton of solar activity, like people seeing the aurora pretty far south, that we're actually going to go into a more intense time, so that the next 3 or 4 11-year cycles will actually be greater activity that's impacting the Earth. Again, it will impact our climate and our weather, but what it's really going to impact is things like satellites. And things like if we do space travel, like I know there's lots of people who want to send people to Mars. The second you start thinking about that, those astronauts are exposed to a lot of solar radiation. And so those are things that, again, impact us, but have another impact too outside of our atmosphere.
A lot of times in certain areas, I'll lose my Sirius radio. Is that because of the sunspots and the activity on the sun?
Sometimes, they'll have these big coronal ejection, like massive ejections, and you'll see telecommunications go up, but that's because the satellites, they get impacted by that. So if people haven't built their satellites for that, that's going to be a problem.
So the weather we had in 25 was weather that we had 11 years ago. Is that what you're telling me by a cycle?
No. Not necessarily, but we can look at that data and say, what was typical for that time and what can we infer from that. But again, and again, we didn't have the La Nina and all that for the past 25 times 11 years, but we know some of that. So we can say in a year 6 or a year 7, when there was a neutral La Nina, what happened? And again, looking at, is the polar vortex, what's happening there? Is it,
I don't get
and
it.
then also, the winds around the equator are another indicator.
What I'm always curious about, Carol, and I'm wondering if this is involved too, because we don't pay any attention to this, is the magnetic north shifts quite a bit and runs all over the place. You would think it would change our orientation with our atmosphere, with our weather, with the sun, things like that. Does it play into this at all?
We don't really look at that, but it's true. I think it could have an impact. And a lot of, some other long-range weather forecasters are really looking at planetary movements and how they impact weather. We're really looking at the Old Farmer's Almanac about the sun. But again, some of those other factors, like you said, could definitely play into it. And you're right, that does change.
We tend to look at farmers in the late 1700s, early 1800s as being farmers in the early 1800s. Were they using some of this technology at the time? I'll use technology loosely. Were they factoring this into their plans for the most part?
Well, Robert B. Thomas he was an astronomer, and they started in the 1750s is when the earliest studies of the sun cycles started to be taken into consideration and noticed, because astronomy was getting pretty big at the time. And so they could see the storms on the sun, even with the equipment available back then. And then since then, you can do things like carbon dating and looking at trees or ice, ice cores and things like that, and detect, again, seeing the effect of those cycles is even more discernible. But that they were taken into effect, and Robert B. Thomas that's how he was looking at what he was looking at for his special formula.
People must have thought he was a little bit strange at that time. Huh? I mean, really.
Probably, but
Yeah, that's
But back then, like astronomy and astrology were almost the same thing. Like they
sunspot.
didn't kind of become two
Sunspots.
sciences.
I'll give you sunspots.
And it's funny you mentioned we're wrapping back around to the position of the planets and how it affects us. It's funny how it all comes back around, right?
Right. And I think we're popular with a younger audience, our little yellow book lately, because they're really into astrology. They're really into planetary science and getting back to the earth. And so we haven't changed our content, but we're finding a younger generation.
I think the Old Farmer's Almanac was basically created for rural areas.
Yeah.
Naturally. Today, there aren't quite as many farms as there used to be. But yet, that little yellow book is more popular, or to get more popular than it was, say, 10, 15 years ago. And that's kind of a strange phenomenon. I mean, you think about it, why? But there's so much more than just predicting the weather, how much rain you're going to get. I go page by page. I love it. I got the 26. And matter of fact, I bought one for Barbara. And
always a copy
I get amazed. I'm sorry.
Always a copy in the house. Always.
Thank you.
The one thing I wanted to ask you, and I know there's a reason, and if anybody knows the answer, it's going to be you, because you're one of the most confident people that I know of. I mean, and I like that. I like that. On the page, I'm looking at the Farmer's Almanac next to you, and there's two pictures up there. Mm-hmm. One of them happens to be Ben Franklin, and one is the founder. Why, in particular, Ben Franklin? Why is this?
Well, he's really the father of almanacs. Poor Richard's almanac was his almanac.
Oh, it was his. Okay, yeah.
And he pretty much started the tradition here in America. And so our founder, Robert B. Thomas, was a big fan. But really, it's a nod. It's an honor,
Now, see, I got that off me because I was driving me nuts. I was trying to figure out what the connection was. Listen,
we're going to put my picture on there next year.
So I love it. We'll sell more books.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I need to take a break. Stay with us, and we'll be back in a few minutes. And we got a heck of a lot more to talk about. I want to know about your garden this year and a few things that are going on and what we should be doing out there. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
All right. All right, Lou, why don't you take us out, pal?
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carbone's Haverhill Beef, offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverbeef.com.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
Play more, earn more, win more at Encore Boston Harbor. Sign up for Win Rewards today and score $50 in free play instantly. Score even more as you play your favorite games. New members will also receive $25 in free play for every 100 tier credits earned playing with your new Win Rewards card. Highly rewarding instantly. Visit EncoreBostonHarbor.com for more information. New members only. Further terms and conditions apply. If you or a loved one is experiencing problems with gambling and needs support, call 833-277-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org to speak with a trained specialist. Specialists are available 24/7 and services are free, confidential, and available in multiple languages.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. Carol Connare, the Old Farmer's Almanac, is joining us as our special guest, and it's always a pleasure to have Carol on board with us. Some of the things you say, Carol, a little over my head, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm not the brightest bulb in the world. Barbara Cody is saying good morning to you also, and Barbara's my significant other. And, you know, something, it's you got a very interesting job. As editor-in-chief, what exactly do you do? Hold up for a minute.
That's me, I think.
Did she mute us?
I don't know. I should have it here. I don't know what's going on. Not sure. Carol, did you mute yourself or something here? Okay, let me put it back on. See what happened. Nope.
Hello.
Let me see.
Oh, there you are.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It must have been the sunspots. That's why we lost you.
Okay, you were using the pods?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's, now
There
better.
you go.
All right.
There you go.
Okay.
So, as editor in chief, what exactly does that entail?
So, as you were saying, there's lots more in the Almanac besides weather. And so
I know.
all of those stories I work on, I assign them to writers. Sometimes I write things myself or people on staff do. So it's sort of deciding what that content is for the Almanac as well as a lot of our other publications. But I do a lot of writing. I just finished writing primarily all of the profiles for a new houseplant book that we're putting out next year. So that was a pretty busy time. And then, I manage 6 people. So that also takes a little bit of my time. Managing creative people is something I've done for a long time and is a lot of fun, but a lot like herding cats, as they say.
Yep.
Right. I can't even imagine. There's so many different facets that all come directly at you, and you have to pick and choose. Right? That's what it amounts to. Yeah.
Talk about the balances of doing a publication that's a 2026 version of a 300-year-old document. How do you balance the new with the old?
That's a good question. And I think, we're that's what we're always thinking about. And, we can look back. I mean, we're so lucky we have all those issues to look back at, to sort of think about over time what has resonated with people. So I think our mix comes out of a few things. We look back, we say, what is important? We have incredible curiosity on our staff. So if something's kind of noodling in our brains, like maybe a lot of other readers will be wondering about that as well. We also think about being entertaining. We kind of call it wacko. Like, is there just something people won't expect? Like, our president came in and he said, "Oh, you got wacko back in this issue." And I said, "Well, what story was that for you?" And he said it was the one on the Supreme Court cases about fishing. So, something you might not expect. But when that pitch came in from a guy I know, I was like, that is the All Farmers Almanac right there. Because again, it's like the common denominator is people that love to be outside, whether it's what they do, they're a fisherman, or they're a night sky person, or a grower, or, backyard gardener, or a lineman, or, somebody who does their work again outside. All of those people, I think, have a connection to the earth. And I think that's our common denominator.
Well, I'll tell you, it amazes me. Something that was created in 1792.
Just sustaining for all this time and all these
Right.
generations and all these.
It's the oldest continuous publication, correct?
In North America, yeah. And I think the part that really matters about that is that we always hear from our readers. So, it's not AI. You come to our website and you ask a question. We get hundreds of questions. We get mail. We get telephone calls. What's the best day to make sauerkraut? And all these things. And we're real people. And we also, have hundreds of reviews on Amazon. So we can see what people are saying, and we're not going to shy away from listening to that.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the secret sauce too.
How much did COVID have to do with a lot of people going back to growing vegetables and
So much.
Yeah, really, huh?
Every garden-centered business saw a ton of growth during that time, including us. That was those 2 years, 2020 and 2021. We had skyrocketing sales and really ad sales. People knew they needed to be in the space, and that's leveled off a bit. But I think there's still a real interest, especially as costs of food and maybe quality of food goes down. People are saying, wait, I remember that tomato I grew in 2021. I want that back.
The animals drive me crazy. I mentioned to you about Roger and Peter Scipoletti, and, they'd give me some plants. And of course, I have a big deck, so I'd try to grow them. And then I'd be so annoyed in the morning because I'd have animals get up there and try and take the fruit, knock the plants over. It was really irking the living bejeebies. I still have a pump BB gun, Daisy BB gun that I had when I was like 11 years old. I swear to God, if I had any BBs, I would have.
Leave the animals alone.
I know. I love the animals, but For Pete's sakes, go out and play somewhere else. You got to play on top of my deck. I don't like it. Make a mess. You make a mess. The other thing is you're constantly creating things of interest at the Old Farmer's Almanac. I notice you have a kids edition now.
Yes.
That's good. You try
Yeah,
to.
we've had one for 20 years. We do that every
Oh,
other year.
I
That's
didn't realize it was out that long.
super fun to work on. I did a story on hula hoops for this one.
Wow. Also, the area in the Old Farmer's Almanac where you can get apparel, that, let me tell you, the product line, you talk about quality stuff, Lou, it's incredible. It's incredible. I got a pair of gloves, cutting gloves, and I swear they come up to my elbow. They fit me like a glove, So, I like that. The cutters, I'm going to call them pliers, not pliers, but
clippers.
Yeah, those two.
Pruners.
Yeah, those two. I mean, talk about quality. So, something, if you're going to get something from the Old Farmer's Almanac, it's going to be quality merchandise. That's for sure.
I use the sun hat. I love our sun hat. It's awesome. And it's one of our best-selling items. It's called the Hori knife, Hori, and it's a Japanese knife and does everything. It cuts weeds. You can dig with it. It's just like this all-purpose garden knife. It's incredible. And like you said, we really only bring in things that are high quality that people really want to use.
I can see that. I was just looking at those. I'm going to call them mittens for the sake of calling them mittens, but they're for thornbush, roses.
Yes.
And my aching head, they are freaking beautiful. I love them. I look a little weird walking around the yard, but I look good. I mean, I like it.
I don't think gardeners they care what they look like.
Well, yeah. I have a certain amount of respect. You know what I mean? Not for me so much, but for my neighbors.
Right.
I don't want to look like, oh, that's Lamazel, the old man down the street. I don't want that to happen just yet.
Bad visual.
Yeah. But anyway, Louis, we have something going on the phones.
We have your guest for the next segment.
Okay, tell them to hold on. We're gonna take a break. Carol, you're gonna stay with me, right? I think this could be a new place for Carol to visit.
Great.
We loved it. So, Lou, why don't you take us out, and we'll be right back. Carol, stay with us.
Great.
And we'll be talking to Matt when we come back. All right.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carbone's Haverhill Beef, offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverbeef.com.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
Play more, earn more, win more at Encore Boston Harbor. Sign up for Win Rewards today and score $50 in free play instantly. Score even more as you play your favorite games. New members will also receive $25 in free play for every 100 tier credits earned playing with your new Win Rewards card. Highly rewarding instantly. Visit EncoreBostonHarbor.com for more information. New members only. Further terms and conditions apply. If you or a loved one is experiencing problems with gambling and needs support, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org to speak with a trained specialist. Specialists are available 24/7 and services are free, confidential, and available in multiple languages.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler.
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. Carol, like I said earlier, I know you like traveling around and you like trying different types of food and whatnot. A couple of weeks ago, we were up in Lincolnville, Maine. You said you're familiar with the area?
I've stayed in Rockland, which is a little bit south, so I've driven.
Oh, yeah, Rockland. Arches on the pier. Oh, are you serious? The best seafood you can get anywhere. I love it there. Well, the reason we were up in Lincolnville, we stayed, this is the second or third year, I think. We stayed at the inn at Sunrise Point. And if anybody wants to decompress, even with your high-profile job and everybody tugging at you, boy, this would be a wonder for you. You're right on the water. It's so laid back, and yet everything is done for you. It's just great. It's just great. And right now, we're going to talk to one of the owners. His name is Matt. And you know something? Matt Ruffing, he makes things look easy. You know, you say, man, this guy, he's got a pretty nice job. He doesn't seem like he does an awful lot. His wife does a lot, not so much. No, I'm only kidding. But anyway, I asked him to come on and just talk about the property. for our Sicilian Corner listeners, because if you're looking for a place, I'm tired of getting to the airport. I'm tired of going through security. I am fed up with it. And you know something, we have so many beautiful places to see right in New England. And this is why I asked Matt to come on with us. And Matt, you're on the Sicilian Corner podcast with us.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you inviting me. Yes, for sure.
You know, I don't know how you guys keep that property looking so great all the time. I know it's not easy, especially when you got the influence of the ocean so close by. I wish many of our listeners would give it a shot. And I know once you go, like us, you're definitely going to go back. So why don't you tell us a little bit how big the property is, what goes on, and how you found that property? Because you've only been an owner for a few years.
Yeah. So, hey, first of all, thank you, and I wish Barbara well, too. I met you guys a couple weeks ago. So MJ is my wife and partner with the business. We purchased the inn at the end of May in 2021, and I think everybody can remember that was kind of a touchy situation coming out of the pandemic and all that. So, but that first year was terrific. And MJ and I believe, are owners number 5 of the inn. The inn was originally opened in 1992. It's about 4.5 miles from downtown Camden. So we're in Lincolnville, but we're a real short ride to Camden. And I think if anybody knows anything about Camden, it's a beautiful little town on the coast of Maine. It's in a great center location to Portland, to Acadia. We have Rockland, Rockport, Belfast nearby. So, you know, just a really ideal location.
You have to mention also the culinary aspect of it. It's improved so much in the last 5 to 6 years. It's unbelievable. I mean, the restaurant scene is flying, absolutely flying.
Yeah, and I mean, and that was one of the pleasant surprises about coming up here and getting into the inn business. The restaurant and the culinary scene, as Mike referred to, is terrific up here. And actually, you know, my wife and I, we lived outside of Boston for a number of years, and so we're kind of used to really good restaurants and good cuisine, and just the restaurants up here are just amazing. So, so that's one real good benefit. So we're about 4.5 miles there. The inn, we're right on the Penobscot Bay. So you'll come up Route 1, you'll go down a driveway about 0.2 of a mile, and our inn sits right on the water. And
how many units, Matt? How many units?
So we have 12 rooms. 12 rooms on the property. 5 of them we consider suites that have a bay view. We also have 3 rooms in the main house. They're a little smaller, but they all have balconies that overlook the bay. They have queen size bed, fireplaces, all luxury bathrooms. And it's just, and over the last 5 years, since MJ and I have owned it, we have done extensive renovations.
It shows.
Throughout.
It shows. Yeah.
Yeah, and the previous owner, she left us a great situation. The inn had great bones, and we were just in a good situation to improve the experience for all our guests. So we're really happy with that.
I mean, there isn't one thing that's run down. I'll tell you that, Rutt. Could you just talk about the beautiful breakfast in the morning that we sit outside on that deck overlooking the water with the gentle breeze? Oh, my. Yeah. Carol, this is for you, babe. I know. This is right up your boat. You'd think you're back in Italy.
So we take a lot of pride in our breakfast. And one of the things that, we do, we cook everything from scratch every single morning. So we're up fairly early, MJ and I, and we're baking baked goods, and we do all our breakfast from scratch. And we have a number of things that we prepare, anything from a good solid Maine blueberry pancake to fritters to, omelets to, vegetable hash, anything that like that. We put a lot of effort into all our baked goods. We do scones and muffins and pastries every single morning. And the nice part about all of that is that you have the ability to sit on the bay. And we have three tables outside, and then we have 5 tables inside. But the tables inside all have a beautiful view. And a lot of things happen in the morning. We have eagles flying around. We have schools of fish going through the bay. We'll see seals, porpoise. Occasionally, we'll see a whale out there during breakfast. So the whole experience is just
it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. And and we do a lot of things there. I mean, we one thing, and I know Mike has probably noticed, and I know he's noticed, is the gardens on the property. We spend a lot of time and put a lot of resources around that.
Yeah.
So the entire property is just beautifully done with flowers, and it's just landscape, really ideally. And the other piece of that is that we grow our own herbs, and so we use our herbs, and some grow our own tomatoes, things like that. So we use that during breakfast.
You got Carol smiling now.
Yeah. All the flowers on property, and every room has bouquets of flowers, and it all comes from the property. And it's just really well done.
Very, very special. Very special. Yeah. The deck that was built, I gather you put that in when you took over as owner, to go down to where the rocks are, right on the water. That thing is so sturdy and so built up. It's unbelievable. Whoever built that did one hell of a job, let me tell you.
Well, there is a little story behind that.
Oh, we got a story, Lou. We got a story.
Not too much, but 2 years ago, when we had the big storms that came through Maine, a lot of those staircases and docks that were down the coast, especially around Camden and Lincolnville, a lot of it was washed away. The tide and the surf was that big.
Yeah.
So we did have an older staircase that we purchased with the property, and that is long gone. That is somewhere in the Penobscot Bay now. And,
south of the Island Shoals.
Yes, I don't know where it is, but I know it's not on our beach. And but we have like Mike said, we put in a beautiful staircase, and I think the nicest thing about that staircase is there's a beautiful bench that many of our guests sit and just meditate and just take in the beautiful scenery there. So it's really nice.
No, I compliment you and your wife because it's nice to have something so relatively close and everything that it offers. I mean, you're on a beautiful, beautiful property. You're being treated like gold. The food, the breakfast, no matter what you want, there's somebody there to service you. And I got to tell you, man, you got my attention. The Inn at Sunrise Point, everybody. It's a relatively easy ride, except right now on Route 1, they got some construction going on. So they still working on that, closing that highway down one lane, going back and forth.
We have. They actually just paved it. So we're into that phase. There's still some slight,
Yeah, minor delays, but nothing else. I mean, if that's the worst thing that happens during a day, Louis, you're from business.
That's right.
That's the way I look at it. But Matt, I want to compliment you once again, you and your wife and your staff. I mean, everybody is just, Carol, I want you to put this down on your maybe getaway weekend. But you close relatively pretty soon, don't you?
Yeah, so the way it works, we close on November 3rd, and every year we open up on May 1st.
Perfect.
So next year, the schedule, we still open up on May 1st, but next year we're going to close on October 31st, Halloween.
Okay.
So, and we open up reservations for next season starting on November 4th. So the day after we close, the calendar gets opened and people can start booking in.
Does every room have a fireplace, electric fireplace?
Every room has a fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a nice feature at night. You have that on because it gets a little cool. You have that on and you're looking out and you see nothing but water. And boy, I took some pictures of the sunrise and the shadow of the coming across. And geez, Mary and Joseph, it looks like a painting. It's just so perfect, Carol. You'd love it. I know you would.
I wrote it down. Yeah, I'm wondering, Matt, do you stay any part of the winter up there yourselves?
Matt, did you hear the question?
It was kind of breaking up, so I apologize.
Do you spend any of the winter on your property in the winter time? Are you there?
We do. We have a cottage on property that we live in, MJ and I. But we like to travel too. So we get out.
You guys could get together, Carol.
Yeah. We like to travel a little bit, and so we do that. And of course, we have some children. We have a son still in Boston and new granddaughter, so we like to do things in the off season like that. But we also we only do that for 2 or 3 months because every single year prior to May 1st, we're doing another renovation or some project.
Yeah.
Just to just keep improving. So, we got a couple things on the docket this year to do that will be beautiful. And so, we'll travel a little bit and then we'll get back to work.
Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for taking the time out to join us here on the Sicilian podcast, he tried to say. And something, you should feel very proud of what you've accomplished because I'll tell you, not many places are as fine-tuned as yours, that's for sure. Again, say hi to MJ for me and Barbara, and something, we hope to see you again next year. You all come back now. You're here. We'll keep the light on, and I'll tell you that that property we stayed at was called what, Matt? What's the name of that house there that we stayed at?
Oh, the Homer Cottage. Cottage.
Wow, you can't get closer to the ocean than that. Let me tell you, it was unbelievable. Listen, take care, my friend.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.
The Inn at Sunrise Point, everybody, in Lincolnville, beautiful downtown Lincolnville, Maine. 2,000 people call it home. Wow, no traffic lights. Oh no, they have traffic lights. They do.
Beautiful looking property.
Really nice. Really
I'm going to go see the gardens.
Well, something. There's plants everywhere. They grow everything from scratch. I mean, the place it's like a house. It's like your own property. It really is. Carol, as we're winding it up here, we only have about 3 minutes left, a little less. People want to subscribe to your Old Farmer's Almanac. How do we go about doing that?
Sure, you can visit almanac.com. Like you said, we have a store there and you can buy all of our printed products. The Almanac comes in a bunch of different formats. You could get it digital if you wanted. You could get a large print. We have hardcover. So we're also in all kinds of stores, supermarkets, any place you get growing supplies, and also lots of mom and pop places. So we're everywhere this time of year, but come and check us out. Lots of free stuff too. Almanac.com.
Are you centrally New England, or are you throughout the country?
Oh, we're throughout the country, and then we have a Canadian edition as well, and we're all the way in Vancouver and
pardon me, they have a Canadian edition.
Canadian, eh?
Wow.
Well, the rest is a little different.
Is there a 25% tariff on a Canadian edition?
Yeah, 25% tariff.
Not yet.
I tell you, you got a neat job. Next trip is going to be to where?
Well, I'm going to go to the Cape, which isn't that far away, but I'm doing that next weekend. I have a kid in college in Charleston, South Carolina. I'll go see her. And then next fall, I'm going to be in Spain for my niece's wedding in Mallorca.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
You'll have to come on with us when you get back and tell us all about it. Spain's a wonderful, wonderful country. It really is.
I haven't been yet, and I speak a little bit of Spanish, so I'm excited.
Well, it sounds very good to me. And again, in closing, is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners?
Oh, just great to be on. Thanks for having me on. Always good to visit with you. And we hope, you pick up our little yellow book, keep us in business for another 234 years.
That's incredible when you think about it.
It's amazing.
Back when that book first came out, there were 13 colonies.
Right. George Washington was still president.
I wonder how many digital editions they did back then.
Well, the first year he sold 3,000 copies, and the second year Robert B. Thomas sold 9,000 copies. So people liked it right away.
Yeah.
Wow, unbelievable. Carol, have a wonderful weekend,
Great
babe.
to see you.
And enjoy. Keep harvesting what you got going on. You're picking pears now?
I'm picking pears, and hopefully you're going to stay out of the hornet's nest.
Yes, please.
Listen, thank you once again. I hope we get together soon,
Yep.
and you can come back on with us.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, dear.
Bye, Lou.
Ciao.
Bye, Carol.
Bye, Mike.
Listen, next week, Rico Barr is going to be our in-studio guest.
Ooh.
Rico's going to be in. We're going to talk about good music. And some, the man has written like 50 or 60 songs.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Very talented. Very talented. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy. Get out. Enjoy. Just stay away from those freaking yellow jackets. Anyhow, arrivederci. Ciao.